Hello, bonjour, bonjour. Welcome to Waterwalk. March. I actually don't know the date. It's not the 20... Oh, it could be the 29th. Is it the 29th? Well, it's the 29th here, or 30th, but it's not the 29th yet in North America. Oh no. No, not yet. At midnight. We're more or less half a day separated. Oh, the water's good. It's funny, the water going to the house is very small. And, but the water flow here is good, so that's, I don't know why it's so diminished to the house, but, I mean, it's not really a big deal because, it's still flowing. But the thing is, like, I have a propane water heater, and it takes a certain amount of, it actually can run on pretty small pressure, but it does take a certain amount of water pressure to start. It's an automatic start thing. So it's not starting at the moment. It might be because the propane is low. I'll try switching tanks and see what happens. But you know, that's okay. I've been having cold showers. You think, oh, Thailand, how cold can it be, right? But don't forget, I'm pretty high up, and all this, the water coming into the house is coming out of springs in the mountain. And it's really cold. I mean, it's, you know, for me, it's cold. If you're used to jumping into Arctic waters, like that polar bear club thing, then it wouldn't be cold. But for me now, acclimatized to hot weather, it's chilly, right? But anyway, managed, hey? I stuck my head under and did a bird bath thing, you know? It's all good. Things are very quiet here, as they were last week, of course. Really very few visitors. I think a few people are coming up. I see some motorbikes come up and a few cars. But like today I walked all the way, like half the route here is on the little road going up the mountain, then the other half is this trail, right? And I don't think any car passed me coming up. And certain times of year it's just so many cars. So it's nice and peaceful. Everyone's quiet, but of course, people are accustomed to having visitors now for some of their income. So, that's no income. And, yeah. As far as I know, everyone's good up here. And you'd think the small villages up in the mountains would be pretty separated from the virus, but you never know. I mean, it could come and then just spread, right? But everyone's doing their thing, it seems, more or less, right? Especially now in the last week or so, everyone's just keeping to themselves, you know. There was a big thing in Bangkok, I don't know how long ago, it was a while ago though, where a bunch of people caught it at a Muay Thai fight, like 100 or something. So, the government shut down all that stuff, and restaurants are shut down. But I think you can go to restaurants and order to go, maybe. Anyway, and I went with my mom to one of the sort of fancy supermarkets, and called Rimping. It's a great supermarket, actually, you know. And but you know, generally more expensive than a local place. Anyway, it was great. They were taking everyone's temperature going in, and everyone had masks on. Everyone was trying to keep distance, you know. And I noticed some close collisions, you could say. People coming close together. They say, "Oh, sorry," and just quickly shift, you know. So all that kind of stuff is, I think it's. Whatever debate you might have about masks and things, just that alone is nice because it's it kind of shows like cooperation with each other, wanting to help each other, you know, protect each other, because we just don't know, right? Just don't know who's got it, who doesn't have it. There's a lot of mysteries around the whole thing, and so it's Thailand for you, you know. Yeah, so I went into the city. There's sort of talk about possibility of shutting the roads going into the city, but that's just as a if things get bad, I guess. At the moment, that's not the situation, and they'll just keep monitoring the thing. And I think there's emergency, what do they call it? Emergency. Well, some sort of emergency measures act has been made by the government, right? So I think the point of that is, it's not like the whole country is in complete shutdown. It's just that the government can then have easy chance to move quickly into one area. And, anyway, it seems good. And, I don't know. Mostly, of course, I'd just stay at home, and so I went to see my mom, and we went to the grocery store together. I rode her on the back of my bike, which was great, and my mom loves that, right? And I get so nervous because I know how much a fall on a motorbike can hurt, especially when you don't have protective equipment, which I don't have, and of course my mom wouldn't have. But I don't know, she loves being on the bike, and I get nervous thinking about it, but when we're doing it, I just go super slow, super easy, and we both love it, right? I like taking her, and she just loves it. Well, in Bangkok, my mom used to go on motorbikes all the time. Like, they have motorbike taxis, right? You just hire a motorbike, costs you 20 baht, like $1 Canadian to take you somewhere not too far, you know? And, yeah, she's great. She's an amazing passenger, actually. You know, some passengers move around a lot. She's like an expert. You know, couldn't ask for a better passenger. And anyway, so blah 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 blah. I really wanted to talk about the whole thing of masks, which I touched on my last water walk video. But I didn't get to because, you know, I can only do so much, right? But it is interesting, the whole mask thing, comparing here with, say, North America and I suppose Europe. I don't know. I think Europe too. Really different cultures, eh? And it's I've been thinking a lot about the resistance to masks and the suspicion when you see a mask, right? So Chris Martenson who does these, he's been doing a lot of videos, podcasts, videocasts or whatever, on the progress of the coronavirus. And he said he and his wife were walking around, I think he's in Massachusetts, and wearing a mask, and he was actually getting hostile looks, right? And I've heard similar things from Canada as well as the States, and maybe England, I don't know. Anyway. But you know, but it did make me think a lot about the idea of having an expressive face in Western culture and showing that to others as a way of showing clear intention, right? So it's so tricky and it's so general, right? I mean, here it's so common to see, say, people with their faces covered. At this time of year, it's really smoky in northern Thailand, so many people wearing masks anyway, right? For the smoke. And so just having a mask for a virus is just almost, I mean, it's a different sort of energy around it for sure, but it's almost just business as usual, right? But often you'll see people working in fields with bandanas on, like just their eyes showing in their mouth maybe, or scarves covering their face, you know, just their eyes showing. That's really common here. Not just in the fields too, you know, I see people riding around on motorbikes like that. And, I mean, a lot of them would be working, a lot of it is because they work outside and don't want to get too much sun exposure, I guess, which is, you know, quite reasonable, I guess. Yeah, but it's also making me think about the resistance in Western cultures to, say, the Middle Eastern various head and face coverings, and quite, I don't know if I want to say violent resistance, but very strong resistance at times, right? And yeah, I think it has something to do with hiding your face is suspicious, that you're trying to hide something or to get one up on someone, right? So again, there's just so many. I can just think of so many exceptions, but this idea of our face expressing our thoughts, right? And that there's a certain trust in that, you know. And when people, there's situations where people get fooled that someone like a con person is so skilled at doing the facial things that convince people that when they get taken, it's just devastating, right? And so maybe here facial expressions are a little bit less prominent, you could say, I guess. Again, I can think of lots of exceptions with different people, but anyway, and like here, of course, the smile is really important. People smile at each other, and okay, I remember once there was this French guy, and I don't know what the situation was, but he was old, like he's probably my age, right, older, and he'd been in Bangkok too long, and he's like a middle-aged European guy, or later middle-aged, and obviously he had been taken down. Quite often it happens with old guys going out with young Thai women, right? And well, that's a whole other story. I don't know if that was his situation, but he just says, you know, he's just like, you know what? It's just like, he says, you know, people smile here, but it's all a lie. And I'm like, oh. It's like, it's not a lie, actually. It's really real. It's just not this. The message isn't the same, right? So you can't. Anyway, the layers of a smile are quite wide here, and I don't know. You just can't take it for face value, as it were, like as if you were from France. Very interesting, very complex. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I've just been pondering that whole difference, you know, and I mean, it's interesting that, you know, the numbers are rising. I mean, look at the numbers. Okay, so the numbers are the numbers. Take them for what it's worth, right? Who knows? It's so, nothing's set in stone here as far as I can see, right? Geez, I'm being demonetized again. Oh, and I'm not monetized. Anyway, so we see the numbers if you're looking at those lists, you know, and you just, I mean, take it as it is. Obviously, the U.S. is just exponentially rising, so there's something to that, right? But you can't, not everyone's being tested, right? I mean, it sounds like South Korea has done a great job of easy testing. Like, you can actually take your car and drive somewhere and be tested, which is, maybe they're the country that's been dealing with it the best. I don't know. Anyway, so the stage is exponentially rising. Here it is rising, but it's not exponential. It's about the same every day at this moment, right? So it's like, you know, 90, 100 per day. That's not exponential, right? Exponential is doubling. So if it doubles in, say, 3 days, which sounds pretty common lately, like in the States and some places in Europe, then the exponential aspect is huge, right? And then you get into what Al Bartlett said, the greatest failing of the human race is the inability to understand the exponential function. And certainly could apply for pandemics. And he was talking about energy and ecologies and stuff like that, is I think his main focus, but certainly could apply to many things. Yeah, so that's the mask thing. I have my mask. I'm not wearing it because, you know, this is the mask I wear. I just have a couple of masks. But what I do is I have this alcohol. Like, it's like everyone thinks, oh, rubbing alcohol is pure alcohol. It's not. It's like 7% alcohol. But I have like 95% alcohol that I use for my guitar making. So what I do, if I've been in the city for a while, then I take it and I just douse it with alcohol on both sides and let it soak in. I think that's probably good. Probably works. But I'm not wearing it here, of course, because it's just me and these little bugs flying around. But I have it in case I sort of run into some friends along the way. Yeah. Been thinking a lot about my friend Danny, who just recently passed away. Nothing to do with the honey badger virus, as Chris Martin says. And a little bit gutted and thinking about him a lot. And yeah. I feel silly, but I kind of want to devote this talk to him. I don't know, it seems silly. Like what, anyway, whatever. Maybe it's just enough that he's been in my thoughts a lot, of course, and yeah, so it's meditation on the fragility of life, the beauty of living, the beauty of a person and the people around him, and all that stuff. And don't know. I wonder if this whole thing with the virus, I mean, it's easy to see upsides and a lot of downsides potential, but it's pretty easy, I think, in the modern world. I'm throwing pieces of concrete out. I don't know why. They do not belong here. Oh, but they've got moss on them. Maybe I'll leave them be. Leave them be. Anyway, there's lots of things that could. Well, all these things make us think of the strength of living and the fragility of living. Maybe it brings us into the moment in some cases more. I don't know. I mean, there's that whole thing of being grateful for what we have, and I think it's really try to do that a lot, and I think it's important, Most people in the West have a lot, right? Even the ones that don't have much. I'm not saying life isn't hard, but I'm just saying, like the heart. Was that? Not Gillian Welch. Oh shoot, I can't remember her name. But she was a American folk singer. Anyway, it's a hard life wherever you go, and then she talks about traveling in different places and meeting people who've had difficult lives. And yeah, it's true enough. Well, that's one of Jordan Peterson's things, right? He's not saying that. In my feeling, he's not saying that it's not important to work to change things and to make things better, right? But maybe a balance is in order. Like, okay, do that, but for most people in the West, life's really not hard. Like real life, Anyway, that's just goes too easily into ranty, preachy things, and I don't like that, so maybe I'll just let it go, but yeah. Anyway. Stuff like this makes me, I think a lot about how I would deal with things when sort of a cascading kind of down collapsing thing could happen, like the layers of things that could go down, right? So now we're dealing with some pretty serious economic downfall. So this is just my thing, right? And I know I drive like my mom crazy. Like I say to my mom, like regularly, I said, okay, especially now. I saw her on Friday, and I said, look, if things go like where the electric grid goes down, you gotta get on a cab and get to my place right away. My mom would hate living where I live. She would hate every moment, but it's cooler, right? You don't need air conditioning. And in the kind of building where she lives, yeah, you have to have air conditioning at this time of year. Anyway, so I kind of do that. I try not to do it too much with her, because, but, I always imagine I can see all the, okay, now this goes ding, ding, right? And then all of a sudden, brr, then it's just like, brr, everything goes, right? The electrical grid, oil and gas. I mean, the oil prices are just dropping like a rock, right? Which is great. To fill up my motorbike cost me like 1/3 less, say, than normal. But knowing in the long term that doesn't bode well for the long term, sustenance of oil and gas. Saying that all along I've been saying oil and gas is going to take us down. Let's get rid of it now, right? But I also understand it's a much more complicated thing than just me spitting out. So I'll say it as it's kind of a theoretical, moral position, right? Understanding that if and when that does happen, those will be difficult times. Like, you know what I mean? What's going on right now is difficult, but that sort of situation, that's when we really can see how challenging life can be, I think. Anyway, whatever. So far it's not there, right? And I said to my mom, I think my sense is that it's not going to go there, you know. It's not going to go where the grid's brought down. So, but we'll see. Issues like things like food and stuff become an issue, right? Money, does the monetary system go down? You know, even if you have cash on hand, if things just go whoosh, then the cash may or may not be useful. When I'm in these scenarios, which is not a uncommon thing for me, I think, okay, how do I deal with it? So my response to the potential of diminishment or collapse is not to hoard money. I mean, I sort of got food, right? But I didn't get that, like I didn't hoard it or anything. I just have enough to keep me going for a little while. But my response is always like to make arrows or to set myself up so I could hunt and things, which is great in Canada. Here, hunting is like, oh jeez. It's, yeah, certain parts of Canada, a lot of it, no, but here, trying to hunt to live would be very challenging. I spend a fair bit of time up in these hills and I don't see a lot of animals, although they're here, I know. And actually the hunting style is different. Like in Canada, when I did that, I was just still hunting, which means like kind of on the ground, slowly walking to find, say, deer or something, right? I think here I see stands up in the trees. Most of them not used much, it looks, but people will put up stands high up in the trees and wait for animals to come through and then hunt that way. And they do that kind of hunting a lot in back in Canada and the States too, you know, I think. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just blabbing on. Okay, I guess this is good enough. I touched on the mask thing. I didn't get no answers, of course, just touched on it, and be interested to hear if anyone have their own thoughts on this. And I think just so people know, because a lot of people will say, oh, the masks don't do anything. Yeah, I think they do something, right? They may not be perfect, but it's not perfection that you're looking for here. You're just looking for some protection, right? So if like a mask protects you 5-fold from getting it, but not 10-fold, it's still probably a good idea. And if you're in a situation where the hospitals need the masks, that's a reasonable reason to let them have them. But Brett Weinstein was saying he just carries a bandana and wraps around his face, right? And that again might not be 100% perfect, but it's still somewhat better. So there's options that you can do, right? You can make a mask. Lots of patterns online to make them, and my friend Gung's making tons of them. She just makes them every day. Sells them at a very inexpensive price. And she's doing her part, you know. Yeah, she's amazing that way. Anyway, but yeah, just, you know, even if it's a scarf, cotton scarf you wrap around your face, whatever it is, just, you know. Yeah, that's my thought. Anyway, I'm gonna head home, and it's getting pretty hot. And luckily it's mostly downhill now, which is great. 20. Oh, someone's coming. Oh, สวัสดีค่ะ สบายดีไหมค่ะ ฉันทำเองวิดีโอ ใช่
เอาน้ำไก่กันเลย
ใช่ทำอะไร
ไปเที่ยวสวน
อ๋อใช่ใช่
บน
เป็นคนสบายดีใช่ไหม
ครับ
ดี
สบายดี
ดีย่าเสี่ยวฉันทำวิดีโอฉันฉันมาเอาน้ำดื่มใช่ไหม and so ฉันทำเองวิดีโอ and พูดฉันมาจากแคนาดา so พูดที่แคนาดาดูได้ so ฉันอยู่ที่นี่สวยมากใช่ไหม so I'm saying it's so beautiful here
เดี๋ยว
I like to make
เดี๋
a
ยวนี้
video
ออกวิดีโอสองคนนั่นเนี่ย
ใช่ใช่ so คุณที่นี่ด้วยโอเคไหม
ครับ
โอเคไหม
บ้านอยู่ที่นี่ครับ
ปันฉั
บ้าน
น
อยู่ที่ริมบ้านเธออะ
อันนี้ไม่เข้าใจ
ที่ริมโน่นแหละที่
ที่
ร้านสีนวลน่ะร้านนวลจันทร์น่ะ
ร้านตะวันใช่เข้าใจนิดหน่อยก็ต้องค่ะ
บ้านผม
ใช่
บ้านผม
คน
บ้านฉันน่ะ
ใช่
บ้านฉันที่มีเซตอะมีช้างอะสุดาโฮมสเตย์อะ
โอ้ใช่ใช่ใช่ใช่ใช่ใช่ใช่เข้าใจเข้าใจ
สุดาโฮมสเตย์
ใช่ใช่ค่ะ
เจ้าของสุดาโฮม
อ๋อ have homestay
ครับ
มีคนมาไม่มีนะ
วันนี้ไม่มีแล้วครับ
ใช่
วันนี้เพราะว่าทางประเทศเป็นปิดอะ
ใช่
ไม่มีแขกอะ
ใช่ทุกคนอยู่บ้านคน
ต่าง
ใช่
ต่างคนต่างอยู่เนี่ย
ใช่
อันนั้นตัดเนี่ย
ใช่ใช่ใช่ใช่
กลัวโลกอะ
ใช่
กลัวโลกมากอะ
ใช่
เราอยู่อย่างนี้ปลอดภัย
พ่อพาย
ปลอดภัยอยู่ในดงในป่าในเขาบ้านเราไม่มีคนเยอะอะ
ใช่ไม่คนหยุด
ไม่เหมือนในเมืองอะ
ใช่ใช่ใช่ใช่พอตอนนี้โอ้ร้อนมากใช่ไหมหน้าร้อนมาแล้ว
มีละ
ใช่แต่ที่นี่ไม่ร้อนนะ
ไม่ร้อน
ใช่เย็นสบาย
อากาศอย่างนี้ตลอด
คิดว่าไม่ไปพรุ่งนี้แต่พรุ่งนี้ฉันเอาไปดุนบาร์ที่ดอย
ที่เรา
ใช่
ไป
ฉันเอาไปดุนแลนด์ที่นั่น
อืม
วันนี้
เย็น
ฉันไปเอา
เย็นบ้านเรา
ใช่
ทำไมไม่เอาเพื่อนมา พักที่บ้านอ่ะ
เพื่อน
อืม
ไม่เพื่อนไม่มีฉันคุณรู้ฉันอยู่คนเดียวนะคะ
ซื้อเอาอะเนื้อที่น่ะ
ชื่อ
เนื้อที่ที่อยู่อะบริเวณเนื้อที่ที่อยู่กว้างๆอ่ะ
โอ้ยไม่เข้าใจ
ซื้อใหญ่นั่นอะ
โอ้ซื้อไปโอ้ไม่ใช่เนาะฉันอยู่บ้านเพื่อนคนฉันมีบ้านฉันอยู่ที่นั่นนะคะ
อ๋อ
ใช่
มันเป็นของ
ใช่
นายพันธุ์อะ
ซื้อฉันฝรั่งใช่ไหม
เออ
ซื้อไม่ได้ซื้อบ้านไม่ได้
อ๋อ
ใช่
หรือว่า
คนไทยซื้อได้แต่ฉันไม่ได้ไม่เป็นไรไม่มีหนึ่งนิดหน่อย ซื้อไม่ได้
เขาไม่มาก็เลยให้อยู่เออถ้าเขาไม่เจ้าของนั้นนะไม่มาเจ้าของไม่มา
ไม่เข้าใจอ๋อขอโทษค่ะฉันเข้าใจไม่ไงเนาะ
ถ้าคำไทยคงจะไม่เข้าใจ แต่นานๆไปคงจะได้เข้าใจคำพูดอะคำพูด เหมือนกับผมนะพูดกับต่างชาติผมก็ไม่เข้าใจอ่ะ
อ๋อไม่เข้าใจ
เออ
ขอโทษค่ะขอโทษค่ะ
อยู่ด้วยกันเนาะเป็นเพื่อนร่วมกันสบายมาก
ใช่สบายมากใช่ใช่
สบายมาก
ใช่โอ้ย
มีอะไรก็คุยกันได้
อ๋อใช่
เดี๋ยวเอาน้ำนิดหน่อย
เอาไหม
เปิดนี่อ่ะนี่อ่ะ
ใช่ใช่
เปิดหน้าเปิดหน้า
ใช่
เปิดหน้าเปิดหน้า
โอเคอร่อย
อืม
น้ำที่นี่อร่อยใช่ไหม
เอาด้วยเย็น
ใช่
เย็น มันออกรูเขา
ฉันมาที่นี่ทุกอาทิตย์
ครับ
โอเคทุกอาทิตย์
มันเย็นสบาย
ใช่
ออก
น้ำเย็นสบายเย็นแล้วก็อร่อยมากนะแล้วก็ฉันชอบมาที่นี่คิดสบายเข้าใจไหมครับ คิดว่านิดหน่อยดึงทุดงนะใช่
ตามสบายนะ
ใช่
สบายแล้ว นี่ก็ใส่นี่เนาะ
ใช่เนี่ยใช่
ได้กี่วัน
ได้
หมดทั้งหมดเนี่ย
อันนี้แบตลีด so 10
วันหนึ่งวันลิตรเหรอ
วัน
กินอ่ะ
กิน
เขากิน
โอ้ยใช่ฉันอันนี้หนึ่งอาทิตย์เนี่ยฉันมาทุกอาทิตย์
อ๋อ
ใช่
มาทุกอาทิตย์
ใช่
อา
so
ทิตย์มาหนึ่งครั้ง
ใช่ so อันนี้อาทิตย์ for เดือนใช่
ครับ
ใช่
โชคดีนะ
โอเคโชคดีขอบคุณค่ะโชคดีว้าว
แขกมาบ้านพ่ออ่ะเวลาแขกมาเที่ยวอ่ะ
โอเค
ที่บ้านเธอ
โอเค
ไม่มีที่นอนมาพักบ้าน
โอเคขอบคุณค่ะ
500 บาท
500 บาทโอเคใช่Much, of course, as usual, I catch a small amount, try to piece it together. But this is unusual because someone last week I bumped into them too. Or someone came through when I was talking to myself, and so that was funny, right? Because I was like talking away, and then I see in the background, oh, there's someone there. So here I am talking to myself. So I had to show, look, I'm making a video. He was okay being in the video. I asked him, so I think it's fine. He lives, has a house with a homestay down there. I see him. I don't know his name though. A lot of people don't know the name of. It's okay. I don't think that's a big thing necessarily. A lot of people might not know my. I mean, people know my name because I'm just like a oddball here, right? A bit. There's only like two foreigners living here, and a village of 400 or 500 people. So I don't even know if he. It doesn't matter if he knows my name or not. That's another thing doesn't seem as vital. Is like, say back home, or which is in my family is like British Irish. We have to introduce each other, right? Oh, this is blah blah. This is blah blah. And if it's really quick and short, everyone forgets names, or I do anyway. But here it's like a lot of times I'll meet people and we won't even exchange names. But no one, it just seems to be not a big issue generally. Is my impression. Anyway, so that was really fun. So I'm glad I bumped into another person. We're at 33. Yeah. So anyway, sure it's fun doing these water walk videos, and I guess I'll head back home now. And luckily it's downhill, so it won't be so hot. Anyway, I was saying to, oops, I guess I should just leave this. I was saying to him, oh, it's the hot season's come, and he's like, oh yeah, I know what he's saying. Oh, it's yen sabai. It's really cool, right? So right now it's really cool, even though it might be 30 degrees. It's all relative. Anyway, yeah, okay, so hope everyone's doing great. Let's just lift this up. Whoosh. Hope everyone's doing really good, and maybe I'll come and do one of these next week. Okay, à la prochaine. Stay healthy. I want to say please try not to succumb to panicky kind of things, but anyway, take it as it comes. Ciao.